Canadian vaccine researchers are diving headfirst into the future. Forget needles or common sense and say hello to inhalable COVID vaccines. That's right, McMaster University is now entering phase 2 human trials for a vaccine that you basically vape directly into your lungs. And this might sound like it's a rejected script from a low-budget sci-fi flick, but it's real. And it's happening in Hamilton, Ontario. So grab your tinfoil hats and let's dig in. It's called the AeroVac study, and it sounds like a catchy name, but it's being funded in part by a cool $8 million of your tax money, courtesy of the Canadian Institutes of Health Research. Because nothing really screams fiscal responsibility like throwing millions at a vaccine that you can breathe in while we're still waiting for the data from phase 1. Yeah, that's right. I should mention here that the preclinical and phase 1 results aren't even published yet. But trust the science, you pesky peasants. Now, this inhalable vaccine is said to be way more effective.
Vaccines are super effective, but they're most effective when you're surrounded by other vaccinated people.
And it's presumed to be more effective because it targets the lungs and upper airways, which is where pathogens would naturally enter the body, unlike those outdated injected ones. And get this, Fiona Smale, which is one of the study's leads, straight up admitted that the current COVID vaccines are about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. Quote, they haven't really changed a lot of people's experience with getting recurrent infections. Gee, Fiona, you're just figuring that out. But don't worry, this new puff of magic is obviously going to fix all of it. Just inhale deeply and pray it's not a fancy air freshener or that it comes with 38 plus pages of adverse events reports. Now, who gets to be a guinea pig? I mean, heroic participant in this new sci-fi fever dream. They're looking for 350 brave souls across Canada, from Hamilton to Ottawa to Halifax. But hold your horses. You can't just waltz right in. You need to have at least 3 doses of an mRNA COVID vaccine because apparently they only want the most compliant lab rats. But no AstraZeneca jabs are allowed. Haven't had COVID or a shot in the last 3 months? You're in. No lung disease? Check. Aged 18 to 65 and willing to show up in person? Also check. Basically, they want the healthiest, most vaccinated people they can find, which I would say is kind of oxymoronic given the data on immune suppression post-shots, but also because nothing says robust clinical trial like cherry-picking your participants. Now, here's the real crux. It's a randomized placebo-controlled trial. 2/3 get the magical lung mist, and 1/3 gets a placebo. But plot twist, they're not saying if it's a real placebo like a saline or some other mystery concoction juice. Because, you know, transparency is so 2019. Just close your eyes, inhale, and hope for the best. What could go wrong? So there you have it, Canada. Still dodging potholes and praying for our healthcare system that it doesn't collapse. But your tax dollars are funding a vape-style vaccine that might, just might, work better than the last round of shots that didn't. Call me cynical or satirical, but I'll stick to breathing regular fresh air for now as a radical facial nudist at that. So what do you think? Are you ready to puff your way to immunity? Maybe hit some Omicron before bed? For Rebel News, I'm Tamara Ugolini. We've been following the shot saga at nomoreshots.ca. If you'd like to find some evidence-based reports and maybe chip in to support these efforts, head on over to nomoreshots.ca.